Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Sarah Smith, and you're listening to Raw Intentions. Well, I'm so stoked to be podcasting. We're here live as in live for us, in Lace Lariat, which is a stunning store in Breckenridge. It just opened a second location in Pagosa Springs.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I'm here with Natalie Wood, and we are going to be crafting as we talk. We're heat pressing some hats that we're working on that Natalie is so graciously sharing her hat expertise with me. The hat
pleasure.
that she's wearing, if you're watching, you made that, right?
I did.
Yeah, so she's like, isn't it called a milliner?
A milliner.
Yeah. She is a milliner. She is a trucker hat maker. She is a partner and manager here at Lace Lariat, and just a very cool gal. And we met through, I guess, business, because I was just like blowing up her Instagram of like, can I please wholesale my stuff in your store? And then we got to meet in person and we talked for like forever. And now here we are. I was like, I got to get you on the pod. And we thought it'd be a fun dynamic to kind of craft as we're talking, because I, for one, I was telling Natalie, if you're an OG, I used to make handmade jewelry, and I love doing things while I'm doing things because I am so incredibly ADD. It kind of like helps me focus in a weird way.
It does.
And this is like, I'm over here cutting stuff out because I don't want to ruin any of the hats while I'm yapping, whereas Natalie is over there heat pressing hats. I would definitely recommend watching this one on YouTube. I feel like it would be a fun watch instead of
you can see it all.
You can
not
see
just hear
it all.
Yes.
And this is also just such a sick, beautiful space. So if you're ever in Breck or Pagosa, you have to come to this shop. I mean, it is literally the cutest shop in Breck. I am so obsessed with it. The first time I came in, I was like, are you kidding?
Thank you.
Because Breck does lack cute shit. There, I said it.
Everything is the same here.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yep.
It all looks the same.
It's a carbon copy. So,
Yeah.
Natalie, welcome to Raw Intentions podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So excited that you're here. Tell us about you. Tell us who you are, where you're from, how you got here. Give us a little elevator pitch.
Okay. So, my name is Natalie Wood.
Mm-hmm.
I am originally from Colorado. I say collectively.
Okay.
So, I've spent my time in many, many different places, but over the years, like if you added them all together, Colorado would be the main.
Okay. Like you spent the most time here?
Yep. Most time in Colorado. Okay. I've lived in Breck for only a year and a half, though.
Okay.
I moved here from Pagosa Springs to open this boutique.
Wow.
Yes.
And that's crazy too. I mean, when we met, I was shocked by how new your store was, because it already feels like such a staple of Breck, and it does so well.
And I think that's solely because the fact that we are so unique.
Yes.
And Breck really lacks the Western influence, I would say.
Okay.
Even though it is, I feel like all around us. Like Denver has the line dancing bars. There's ranches in Fairplay and Alma. There's ranches out in Silverthorne.
And like Steamboat, like the people working at the base wear the cowboy hats. But yeah, Breck doesn't really, and we don't have like a Kimosabi or anything.
No. And it's all in Vail. It's all right over the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Breck didn't have that, we were really able to hone in on that. And we saw a market that we could really capitalize on because of the lack of. So, and I mean, I've always loved Western wear. I've loved country.
Has fashion always been like kind of like, have you always considered yourself a creative and like a maker of things?
Sure. Okay. For sure.
Okay.
And that definitely does come a lot from my parents. So, especially my mom. She started a home decor company when all of us girls, we were like in our teen years.
Oh my God,
so we were like
sick.
In middle school. My dad was...
So you really remember that?
Oh, yeah. My dad was full-time manager at Lowe's Home Improvement.
Okay.
So he was always gone, and my mom was like, well, I want something to do. So she started redoing furniture. And then that was like, you always want a little gig when you're a kid.
Yeah.
So we would help her with stuff. I would always help her like come up with product and things like that.
Aww.
So.
And how many siblings do you have?
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Big family.
Yeah. Both my sisters, God bless them, are pregnant, married, all the above. They're doing their lives.
They're just, I think I remember one of them have their baby recently?
Yeah.
Because I remember we were trying to podcast a while ago.
Yeah. And I was
You're like, actually, I think my sister's in labor.
Yeah. I was like, I have to cancel. So that was her. But it's fun. They're all down in Pagosa. So it's nice having the whole family close.
Yes. Because how far is Pagosa from here?
It's about like 3.5 hours.
Is Pagosa? That's not where I would pass to go to Crescent Butte. What's that? There's the P. I think I'm thinking of somewhere else.
Poncha Springs.
Poncha Springs. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that confused. So where is Pagosa then?
Pagosa is by Durango.
Oh.
We were at Durango. Yeah. So if
I've
you're
been to Durango.
going from here to Durango,
you'd pass through?
You're going to pass Pagosa first.
So what is the town like? I mean, it was a pretty small town, I would venture.
It is a small town. It is, a lot of people describe it as like Breck 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Really?
So they have...
Because Breck, I'm sure, has changed so much. I mean,
yeah. Like, Pagosa has the infrastructure to be a big town. And they have, like, the good restaurants. And they have Wolf Creek ski area right there, which is nice.
Oh, so you're close to Wolf Creek.
Yes.
Gotcha. So would you be like the main town? Okay. Cool, cool.
Yep. So it's nice that you have all that. They have like the world's deepest hot spring there. They have some cool stuff that honestly people I feel like don't really know about. Mm-hmm. But that's also what a lot of the locals say is they're like, keep Pagosa like the small hidden gem.
Keep Pagosa.
You know. But that's what people say about every town. Like I was
going to say, yeah.
Love it, but it's inevitable to happen. So.
I also, how do you feel about, like, I remember before moving to Breck, and I do feel like Breck gets a bad rap sometimes as far as ski towns because it is so touristy, quote unquote. Obviously, our businesses kind of depend on that tourism and like in the crowds, but even outside of that, I kind of enjoy, there's always something going on. There's like any night of the week you can do something. You can find people to hang out with. And
1,000%.
It is a very small town, but it's nice that we get the crowds from Denver, the people that are visiting. Even like, I mean, I know for you, like bachelorettes, like that's your bread and butter. Yeah. But like the bachelor parties, the bachelorettes, like there's just so many people coming through all the time.
Yes.
And I kind of like it. It's like just new people to like fuck around with.
I enjoy it.
Like,
that's why I had to leave Pagosa because I was not ready to settle down and see the same people every single day. Like,
did you like growing up there though?
I mean, I only lived there for like 4 years. Okay. So I didn't necessarily grow up there. For the time that I did live there, it was really nice. It was during COVID and we lived on like 35 acres.
Wow.
Out in the middle of nowhere. So it was nice to have that freedom, especially when the whole world was locked down.
So how old were you when you were living there? Like what, 4 years?
From when I was 20 to 23. Or 22-ish.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So was nature always a big part of your upbringing?
Yes. I would say, like, because of the size of my family, it was hard to go on, like, big, extravagant vacations.
Totally.
So, one thing that we always did was camping.
Oh, really?
So, I just grew up camping with the family and traveling around. I love that. So, now there's, like, such a love in my heart for camping. Like, I love to go, even if it's just me and Oakley, which is my dog.
Wait, you go solo camping?
I have.
How is that?
It's
because I do a lot of solo traveling, but I feel like I'd be a little freaked out by solo camping. The sleeping part, I think, would freak me out.
Just bring your protection.
Yeah, but
if I didn't have Oakley, yes. If I did not have the dog, I would not go.
Yeah, no, I think not having a dog.
And she will alert me if, like, even a chipmunk is around.
Yeah, so yeah.
I don't really have to worry about that.
She keeps you on high alert.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's funny. My parents were super outdoorsy. They loved, my mom grew up skiing. She wanted us to be a ski family. We grew up, like, going on hikes and camping.
Yep.
I was the biggest cunt ever when I was little.
No way.
Pardon my French. And, I literally kept us from doing everything. Like, we went skiing once in North Carolina. I'm from Alabama. So we went skiing once growing up. I bitched so hard we never went again. I could have been like a ski girl, like growing up skiing. Oh, yeah. My fault. My parents are like, oh, now you live in a ski town in Breck? Like, or in Colorado, like our favorite place ever. It. I'm like, sorry. They loved camping. I remember my favorite camping trip when I was little was it got rained out. We were setting up a tent. And so we went to this like Sigs Inside gross hotel that had an indoor pool and a slide. And I was in heaven. I was like, this is my favorite camping trip. Because we're not camping.
Yeah, you're like, we can come.
And my parents are like, I hate this.
Oh, that is too funny.
So they were always very into nature. And I think, somewhere deep down it was instilled in me because now, it's such a huge part of my life. And
totally.
I don't want to have kids anytime soon. But when I think about like having kids, like that's such an important thing to me is making sure that nature is such a huge part of their life. So it's cool that you kind of got to grow up doing that.
Well, and I feel like a big part of just embracing nature and like feeling comfortable in it is the fact that it's something so much bigger than yourself and like bigger than everyday life. So putting yourself in an environment where you feel so small is like empowering almost. You know what I mean?
Well, it's so important too because you realize how insignificant your worries are and your problems. It sounds so cliche, but like looking up at the sky, the night sky and all the stars.
Yes.
And you have no cell service and you're like, whoa, nothing matters.
Nothing matters.
I am so small.
Exactly.
In the grand scheme of things. No, I agree. I think it is good perspective. And I think it's good in a world that is so quick and like focused on the next thing. And like we have so much access to everything from our phones. Like the ability to
100%.
unplug and take a step back is so vital for me.
Mhm.
And like almost inconveniencing yourself because we are surrounded with it. And it is such a huge part. Like I sleep with my phone outside of my room because if I don't, then I'll doom scroll before bed and lose 2 hours instead of like reading a book.
It's so true.
Yeah. And so the
true.
art of like being able to unplug and loving nature and putting yourself out there, I think is really cool too, that it's, you know, just always been instilled in you.
Yeah.
So so you guys are in California as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's honestly like where I say that I grew up. Because in my opinion, it was like the most monumental years of my life.
Formative.
You know, high school and college.
Totally.
So I absolutely loved it though.
Mm-hmm.
Because
do you think you'd ever go back?
I would. It would have to be like the right town though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was nice living there when I did because you don't really have like the stresses of money yet or the politics going on around you, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was easier to just beach and
Carefree.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Swim in the ocean naked, you know?
Yep.
Like best years of my life.
All the quintessential California things.
Totally.
I love
so
that.
I just don't know if it would be the same now if I moved back.
Where in California were you?
I was have you ever heard of Oceanside?
Mm-mm.
So it's right by Carlsbad and Sanitas.
Oh, yeah.
That whole stretch.
Okay.
I was 20 minutes inland of Oceanside. It was like the unproclaimed avocado capital of the world.
Oh.
So I lived in like an avocado grove and an orange grove.
Cool.
And we were 20 minutes from the beach. It was legit.
I love that.
Fun.
So then coming back here and then opening the store, I mean, I'm sure that I know a lot of it was kind of serendipitous just from how we've talked about it.
Yeah.
But what was that process like? And because your mom is also a part owner of the store, right?
She is.
So has she had the home business?
Yep.
So,
the home decor business.
Yeah, home decor. So had she been in fashion and retail outside of that, or was that her first experience with that? Okay.
First experience.
Okay.
So this whole shop came to life because the other owners here are Kelly and Aaron. Mm-hmm. They opened the Horseshoe restaurant down the way.
Okay.
So they called my mom out to give them designing expertise on the restaurant.
Oh.
Because it's like home decor, kind of like fix and flip, interior design, that whole thing. So that's how all of us got put in contact with each other. And then while we were all here, because we like made it into a family trip, why not? We're like, oh, let's all go to Breck. Yeah. That's fun. Mm-hmm. So the idea for the boutique got thrown out. And then by Kelly. Okay. Because Kelly and Aaron have lived here for coming up on 10 years.
Wow.
They've been in Breck. So she really knew like
what was missing.
You know, yeah. What was all entailed in owning a shop here.
Right.
So it got thrown out and then we were leaving and my mom was like, okay, Kelly, like, what do you want from us? You know, there's so many things that are up in the air right now. And she said, I want your daughter to come and run the boutique. So I was like, somebody wants me. I'm going.
You're like, done. Easy.
Yeah, easy.
Had you just graduated at this point?
No, I actually only went to college for like a year and a half.
Oh.
I dropped out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, COVID happened.
You know what? I feel like so many of the most successful people, same story. They're like, not for me.
I really couldn't stick through it.
Yeah, no, that's so fair. Also during COVID, like, would
online
be so
is
brutal.
not my thing.
Yeah.
In person, I can do it all day.
Right.
All day long.
Well, and look at the opportunity that presented itself. Like, clearly it just wasn't meant for you.
Right. I'm like, sometimes you just need to follow the path that's put in front of you.
So, you know, Kelly and, did you say Aaron?
Yeah.
Kelly and Aaron, you know, you mentioned that they know what goes into owning here and like what goes into like opening a store.
Yeah.
And I'm so curious about that. I mean, I have an online store and one day I would love to have a retail space like, you know, way down the line if the opportunity were to present itself.
Totally.
So what does go into it? I mean, I'm sure you were kind of like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed coming into this, had no idea.
Yeah, I was like,
what you're getting yourself into.
What is this gonna be?
Yeah.
I mean, I had never even like worked in a boutique before.
Yeah.
Like, everything was a first for me.
Okay. But it was something that excited you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because like working with my parents growing up doing home decor, it was mostly like pop-up events for us and vintage markets and that type of thing.
Gotcha.
So I had never done brick and mortar either, which, like you said, made it all that much more enticing.
Yeah.
Honestly, the biggest thing I will say is location. Location is huge. You're not going to be successful on like a daily basis if you are not in a prime spot in town where people just are going to walk by.
Happen to walk by.
Yes.
Do you think that even holds true? So Breck, if you've never visited, whoever's listening, like there's the shops on the main street and we're on Main Street right now. Mm-hmm. And then there are these like, I don't even know how you would describe them, but fixtures essentially with like an upstairs and a downstairs. And there's like shops back, not in like an alleyway, but like behind the main.
They're like
walking
tucked
path.
in little corners.
So do you think that makes a difference as well? Like,
probably.
Yeah. I mean, just thinking about it, because I've always found Breck, before I lived here, you know, if I had friends visiting and we went to Breck, I would take a day off skiing and we would like literally just walk down Main Street and pop into places. It's like the perfect place just to bop.
It's
the cutest Main Street. There's restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and a ton of stores. So you just naturally are like moseying around.
Yeah.
So I feel like this location being right off the sidewalk, I'm sure is just like, even if people don't know who you are. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially having good windows, your window setups, when people drive by, so many people come in and tell me, they're like, well, we drove by coming into town because we are on like the opposite end of where everything's popping.
Right.
So they always say we drove by and we had to just come in and see.
Oh.
Because if you can look cute from the windows and have like warm lighting, make it look inviting, people will come in.
Especially when it's cold out.
Yeah.
Making it look cozy.
Yeah.
It's so enticing. So all these things, I mean, are these things that you've learned, or are these things that Kelly and Aaron shared with you in opening?
No, these are things that we've learned.
Yeah.
Because they've never done a boutique style either. Kelly is an entrepreneur. They're both entrepreneurs. Like, she has a swim lesson business in Arizona that she does every summer.
Okay.
Aaron's always done things growing up, but having like brick and mortar clothes and hats is a first for everyone.
That's kind of cool that you guys are all getting to learn together.
Right. It's fun.
So,
and just like being here every day, you really see the things that make a difference. It could be the littlest things.
And I'm sure you learn too from like just overhearing conversations from people, or like people making random comments to you about like, like they saw your window display, or that they didn't notice this, or, oh my gosh, like I haven't found anywhere else in town that has this.
Exactly.
So you can just kind of like take notes, because that's what I find when I'm doing pop-ups. I am just like a little fly on the wall, and I'll just listen on people's conversations in like the least creepy way, because it's such good like immediate feedback.
Totally. 100%.
So, and having the idea to, I mean, having this incredible store, like it's got to be a lot easier said than done.
It is.
And I'm sure it was a process. So how long did that take, and what went into opening a store here?
It was nice having Kelly and Aaron here full time. So they were able to really like scope out the real estate. They actually are friends with the owner of this building, which in brackets, like the same 6 people own every building.
You need to know people. Yep.
If you can be on a good side of someone, then you're well set.
Right.
So it was that, finding the building, and then kind of coming into it and looking at how you can really make it your own. We were fortunate enough that this glass closed off room was already here. So it really was enticing for a hat bar.
Oh, so immediately you saw that and you thought.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
Because it was so trendy. You know, everyone was doing the hats.
Right.
So to us,
but it wasn't here.
No, not in Breck. So that was a big thing coming into the building. Just like noticing how you can really use the space and make it your own.
Were there a lot of options for real estate, or was it like, is it pretty slim pickings?
It was pretty slim pickings.
Yeah. I'm sure like it just is like right place, right time, right people.
The building was offered up to us before we even had an idea.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I think that was another big thing, is like having it be offered to us. Like, well, it's prime real estate. We have to do something.
Right.
So I think that was a big part of it. You also just have to be like a creative.
Like
you were saying. You have to have like the mindset for it. Yeah. Be ready to work your tail off. Make it worth it.
And then how did you start? Did you know like right away as well? I mean, you were talking about bringing, you know, kind of a Western style, and you guys definitely have a very specific style in the store. Yeah. Did you know that right off the gate, like this is what we're going to niche down to? And like, how did you decide what brands to bring in, and like how to fill out the store? Because you've got a lot of stuff here.
I feel like that's a tricky part, is just like merchandising, right?
Yeah.
And being able to.
And I'm sure it's a lot of learning.
It is.
Yeah.
And like being able to follow the trends, but also like forge your own path with creating trends, essentially. Obviously, like all of our styles are very like Free People, Anthropology-esque.
Right.
You know?
Boho.
Yeah. Magnolia Pearl, that type of thing. Super boho. And then with having the hat bar, we were like, well, we need to put a Western twist on it. Where we used to live in Pagosa Springs, like out on the ranch, you know, ranchers were all around. So that's something that I got really used to seeing, knowing like what Western brands I like that are trendy and cute, not so much functional.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. But seeing the like what actual Western people are wearing, like functionality wise, and then being like, Okay, no, but this is like the cuter version.
Yeah. Like, oh, I don't really want to wear a pearl snap tucked into jeans sometimes.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, so it was like that whole thing. I've always loved clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think in 8th grade, you know, in the yearbook when everybody gets like a stupid little award.
Superlative?
Like a stupid little award.
Is it like a superlative, like where they're like most likely to?
Yes.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. So I got like best dressed
in
really? 8th grade. And I'm like, this is so dumb.
You're like, this is meant to be.
But
that's so funny.
I was like, well, maybe it's just a sign.
Yeah.
You know when you have a gift, but you don't necessarily see it?
Yes.
It was that type of thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, well, I just like clothes.
You have a touch, but also clearly you're very extroverted. You like talking to people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the perfect combination, right?
Yeah. It all works together. Mm-hmm. It's fun. I do find myself yapping too much sometimes. So I'm like, okay, reel it in, Natalie.
Oh, that's how I get sometimes too when I'm doing pop-ups. I like someone's trying to buy something and I forget that I have to like take their card information.
Yes.
I'm just like talking and I'm like, oh wait, you never paid for that. Like I need payment for that.
It happens all the time here.
Yep.
All the time.
I'm sure. So long process.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you guys to open the shop?
It took us about a month and a half.
What?
I know.
I thought you were gonna say like 2 years.
No.
What?
Yeah. So we came out here in July.
Okay.
We went to Dallas Market in August.
Is that how you found a bunch of brands? I'm sure for
Yep. That's
pretty vital,
where we did
right?
like most of our purchasing.
Which is nice because you get to see it all in one place.
And it's super important to like feel textures in person.
Yes.
Quality. It's
Try
so
it on.
hard online to
Yeah.
get a good grasp on what you're going to be getting.
Right.
So that made it really nice for us. It's hard though. Dallas Market, like when you go to any wholesale market, the amount of money that you're going to walk out spending is stupid.
Oh yeah. And like whatever budget you had is just like out the window.
Out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can just forget about going with a budget. It never happens.
Did you go with your mom?
It was my mom, Kelly, and I.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So that was fun. That was like our first big shopping experience.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had been to market before though, because she went for home decor.
So she kind of knew the ropes.
She knew what to do. So we
I
just followed her lead.
Uh-huh.
Now it's kind of funny when we go, I feel like I take the lead. I'm like, okay, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to see.
Well, I'm sure they depend on you a lot for like, you know, trend forecasting and
yeah,
style and like the pieces that you're choosing. But I bet it's also a lot of pressure. Like you're like, I hope people like this.
It is.
You know, because you're like, how the fuck are you supposed to predict that?
Oh my gosh, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
And I always see stuff, I'm like, oh, I would so wear this, but would everybody else?
Has there been like a learning curve with, you know, since you guys have opened with buying and
totally
deciding what brands to carry? And I'm sure too, there's some things that you buy and you're like, I don't even know if anyone will like this. And it's like the thing that everyone's obsessed with.
Yeah.
That's how it is for me. Yeah.
We got like a pair of pants a couple weeks ago and it was the ones where they're open on the sides, but they have the ties that connect them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I would never wear these.
Yeah.
And then they put them out and they sold within a week.
Wait, funny.
And I'm like, but that's why you can't just buy based off of your
what you
personal
like.
style.
So how do you separate that? Like how have you kind of tailored your buying for the store?
I feel like it's just like staying up on the trends and really being curious, even just walking around Main Street of what everyone is wearing.
Oh, interesting.
Especially coming to a mountain town, like one thing that has not worked for us are basics.
Okay.
I would love to carry like soft tank tops and t-shirts and like little crop tops and that type of thing, but it's just not our clientele.
Because I guess most people coming to shop are on vacation.
Yeah.
So they want like a statement piece. They have their tank tops already.
They'll spend the big bucks on a fur coat or a leather jacket.
Right.
But on a little tank top, yeah, they already have that. So that has been a learning curve. Yeah, I don't know. Staying up on trends, I feel like it's just staying relevant on social media. And
yeah, I was gonna say, how do you stay up on trends? Do you spend a lot of time looking at like certain influencers or other brands or like Pinterest? Like, where does your inspiration come from?
I would say mostly Pinterest.
Okay.
I love Pinterest. I've been a Pinterest girl since I was little.
I love Pinterest too. I'm so happy it's like having a comeback.
Same.
It's so freaking perfect.
I love that. But I feel like, I don't know, looking at like Vogue magazine and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. Not that it's necessarily like what we carry, but there's always different variations of styles that will fit your business.
And like color patterns that you see and just getting inspired. No, I totally get that. Have there been any, I guess, unexpected, like really hard things or like mistakes that you guys have made thus far in your business that you can think of? Like anything that you were like, holy shit, like this is not what I thought it was going to be? Or
a big thing for me was the trends with foot traffic around town. Being in such a tourist town, I never realized how much like slow seasons affect you and then how much you need to plan out for when it's busy, like 4th of July and Christmas break, that whole type of thing. Mm-hmm. So that was a big learning curve.
Okay.
Like over Christmas last year, I probably did not have as much inventory in the store as I should have. Because I just didn't expect the crowds.
Yeah.
Being open like the first year of business, you really don't have like sales to project off either. Mm-hmm. You're kind of just shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
Hoping that you strategically planned everything right.
Well, and you never want to have too much stuff. And you never want to have too little.
Yes.
Which is really hard too because it's all seasonal.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you go from spring break in April to mud season in May. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you don't sell through all that product that you bought, then you're kind of stuck with it.
So then, yeah. I mean, I guess you guys are, again, still very new, but how do you combat that? Like the waves of basically town just being dead.
I honestly started going around to boutiques and I would like go in and talk to people and I'd be like, okay, what can I expect for this upcoming season? Like, how well do I need a plan for this?
How have you found that to be? And have you found the community to be receptive or more gatekeepy?
No.
Oh, good.
So receptive.
Everyone like sticks together kind of thing. I love that.
Yeah, they are so here to help.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, that was really good to get information from other people who have been here for so long.
What are some things that they said that they like would recommend or like advice that they had?
Just be ready for busy season. Don't like let yourself get wore out before, honestly. I love customer service, but sometimes I don't think people realize how like taxing and emotionally wearing it can be.
So draining. I mean, you have to be so on.
You're on 24/7.
Even if you're feeling off.
Yes, you can't be off.
You can't bring it into work.
Yeah. So emotionally wise, they would say like just brace yourself for that. Be ready to just be slammed and bombarded with people all the time. I thankfully have not really had any bad experiences with customers yet.
Okay.
There's always snarky comments and things like that.
Sure.
Easy to move past.
Right.
But as far as people like being demeaning, I haven't had that.
That's good.
So that's a positive thing.
And then for, I guess, prepping for slow seasons, I mean, I have slow seasons as well. I feel like I always, just from learning over the years, I'll try not to get too high up in the highs, like when I'm super busy or making a shit ton of money, because if I let myself get too high up in that, then I fall. And then I fall into the depths of whatever the slow season is. And then I get really in my head or I get really upset. And you have to just like kind of portion out your money.
Oh, 100%.
For the times that are slower.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. So I feel like that's what I've tried to do. And I'm sure
I love that.
I'm sure that they've said the same thing. And I mean, you guys have expenses, like you have rent and like, no matter what, you're still having to pay. You can't just like, even if you close down, you were saying Monday through Wednesday, you guys aren't open right now.
Tuesday, Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. Yeah. I mean, you can do that and obviously like give yourself a break and plan for it not to be as busy, but you still have to pay rent.
Yeah, you do.
And you still have merchandise. Mm-hmm. So do you just like try to buckle down for those slow times and like prep for the next busy season or?
Yeah, really buckle down. One thing that I really appreciate, Aaron, our other business owner, he's really good with numbers. So he's shown me like the whole number world side of it. So running like our COGS, which is like cost of goods sold, and then like putting it into your EBITDA, which is like your end of the year profits, your fixed costs, things like that. Like there is a spot for every single number that is spent within a business.
Right.
So really laying that out has been able to help me budget for the slower seasons.
Right.
And it's like, okay, this is where we can cut cost. Like during slow season when we are closed 2 days a week, I can't schedule my employees.
Right.
Which does suck for them, but also having them know that it's coming.
Then they can kind of prep for it
They
too.
can prep for that.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a big numbers game too.
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to.
I know. I think that was something that I'm still like trying to catch up to because I am not really a numbers girl.
Yeah.
I'm a money girl. I love money.
Yeah.
But I'm not as good with like budgeting and projections and, keeping up with all my costs because it's not fun. I like to do the fun stuff and it's not fun. And my dad is my technical CFO. And so he gives me a lot of unsolicited advice all the time, but I'm so thankful for him because he is like not a creative at all. He just sees things totally black and white. Mm-hmm. He's like, well, I don't really give a shit. Is this making you money or not? And I need that because sometimes I forget like, even if something's really fun for me, I still have to make money at the end of the day.
Have somebody to like reel it in for you.
Yes, exactly.
See, this is another thing. It's all trial and error. Everything is going to come out. So,
well, it's so cool. And it's so cool to see how far you've come. Do you have, like what would you consider your measure of success within the store? Are there like goals that you set for yourself? Are there things that you strive towards? Other companies you look up to? Or is it just like, every day that we get to be open and talk to people.
I feel like there are goals that are set. I haven't necessarily like laid them out specifically, which is probably something that I could get better at.
Yeah.
But it is so hard because being the first time for me working in retail and being a manager of an establishment and all of that, I didn't quite know what goals to set.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know what to gauge at what I'm looking at.
Right. And like,
But
what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah. Coming into this second year, though, of being open, I'm really excited to like see different ways that we can push the boundaries and new concepts that we can bring in instead of just feeling comfortable where you are. Like, oh, I've dialed this in. I've nailed it down. Now we can like stop here.
Yeah.
That's not going to get you anywhere and that's not going to get you success. So I feel like realizing that the boundaries can always be pushed.
Yep.
Whether I know what that is right now or not.
I love that.
Being open to the idea of it.
And it sounds like maybe that's a lesson that you've taken with you from, the first like year and some change of being open.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that you've learned a lot. I do think though, with goals and manifesting and all of those things, it's so important to know what your goals are and to be aware of them. Like, to be able to visualize what you want, because if you don't know what you want, the universe can't really give you what you want because you don't know what you want.
It's true. It is so true.
Like whether it's writing them or vision boards, like I really do think all of that holds so much meaning. It's not just like a silly little thing that girls do.
No.
With like our little vision boarding nights and stuff. But yeah, I think that is something that, maybe you could do for like years to come. And like before the next busy season and the slow season is like, that could be a fun time. Because we have technically like 2 mud seasons here, kind of like right before ski season and right after ski season.
Yeah.
Like taking the time to like double back and like really figure out and hone in what you want. I think would be really, really cool.
Okay. So can I ask you, how do you start? By like sitting down and writing down your goals? Like, how do you lay that out?
Do you journal at all?
Sometimes.
Sometimes I think people get like intimidated by journaling because they think that whatever they write needs to be perfect and needs to be like well said and like whatever they write is final. I love like brain dumping. So like and if you can type faster than you can write, then you could type it out too. But just like writing down like random ass things of like what is my perfect life.
Yeah.
Like I think one good thing with manifesting and goal setting is first figuring out the type of person you want to be. Like if you want to be a successful business owner, then start there and then think backwards of like, okay, well, what time would this person wake up in the morning? Who would they hang out with? What habits would they instill? Like, what do they eat for breakfast? And like trying to construct your day-to-day and your life on like who you want to become.
I love that.
I think is super powerful.
I love that.
Because we can set goals and say you have a goal to hit like $1 million in sales. Then that's great. And that's an amazing goal. But then how are you going to do that? You have to have like systems in place. It's like, okay, well, if I hit $500,000 last year and I want to hit $1 million next year, let's look at the things that we did that worked really well. And let's try to double down on that and maybe create more things around the things that worked. Let's look at the things that didn't do so well or maybe aren't making us a ton of money. And let's just get rid of those and try something different,
100%.
So I think with goal setting, like just try not to put too much pressure on it.
Okay.
And try to just like, it's like fun. You get to literally play make believe of like, what is the best life possible for me right now? And that can change.
Oh, totally. And it will change.
Yes. So I would recommend that, like just like brain dumping on a page and just kind of seeing what you come up with.
Okay.
Is really fun. And I think vision boarding is really powerful too, because visualization is such a great way to manifest. And it's just like a fun little arts and crafts thing. I mean, it's kind of like what we're doing now, just like cutting things out. So yeah, I would try that and see where it gets you.
I will take that advice.
Yeah.
Because I was definitely like, when you first said, you're like, it's easy to be overwhelmed and feel like everything you have to write down is perfect.
Yes.
That has been my mindset so many times.
Yes.
And I'm like, I am just writing something that I don't even believe. Because I want it to sound good.
Yes, exactly. No, I saw some meme recently and it was like, why am I trying to convince my journal that I'm cool?
Yeah.
And it's so real.
Yes.
Of like, I've done that before. I am journaling. It's like have you ever been to therapy?
No.
So in therapy, I've been in therapy so many fucking times, but in therapy, at least anytime I've been, if I'm like starting back up again or like for the first time, I find myself like lying to my therapist or like embellishing things or trying to make myself like sound better. And I'm like, I'm literally paying this person out the ass to like help me and make me better. And I'm lying to them. Like, so this doesn't help me.
Help you?
And same with journaling. Like I would find myself like lying or like omitting things. And I'm like, no, you know what? We had sex and he never texted me. And he probably doesn't give a fuck about me. Instead of me like sugarcoating it and being like, and then we like had pillow talk. I'm like, nope, he called me an Uber and he probably does not respect me as a human being.
Yeah.
And I just need to be honest with myself about that. And that he probably wouldn't flinch if I got hit by a bus in front of him. And I'll like catch myself doing that too. And so I think when people find journaling to be intimidating or like they don't know where to start, because I journal a ton and like I post about it a lot too on Ron Rebellious. Of like, I used to do these weekly journal prompts because I get so many DMs from people like, I want to journal, but I don't know where to start, like that kind of thing.
Totally.
And I love that because people, their complaint was always like, well, I don't know what to write. I'm like, you can write literally anything you want. Doesn't matter. And it like doesn't have to be pretty. Doesn't have to be aesthetic. You don't have to post it anywhere. Like no one's gonna read it.
Yeah.
Don't write as if like someone's gonna find your journal and read it when you die.
True.
Like you just have to like write.
Just do it for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it becomes super therapeutic.
I love that.
For sure. I mean, like taking a little journal out with you when you're camping or something. Like how fun would that be?
Yeah. I love books. Books are like my outlet.
Yeah,
I love
same.
reading.
I'm a huge reader. That's like something that I've really worked on. I don't know if you struggle with boundaries because it is nice. Since you are here, like, do you feel like when you leave the store, you're not working or are you always like thinking about work?
It depends on if there's something that's like stressing me out that has to do with work.
Okay.
Then I bring it home with me.
Gotcha.
But I feel like for the most part, I'm pretty good at separating the two.
Like, do you feel like you have pretty good like boundaries and habits and stuff with that?
I would say so.
Yeah. See, I feel like it's taken me a long time to figure that out. I don't know if it's because it's like my work is always with me.
Yeah.
Or what? Or me being in it like totally. I mean, I have like a team and stuff, but I am like, it's really just me.
Yeah.
So I carry a lot, but I've learned over the
100%.
years, like, not responding to texts or like shutting my computer and like not working at night and like reading before bed and journaling and keeping my phone plugged in outside of my room. Like all of these things are practices that I've like learned over time. I like have to have or I will freak out. Because I have had a few little mentee bees here and there, when shit hits the fan.
Yep.
It totally does. So that's something that I've definitely struggled with.
No, I love that. Finding the boundaries and finding what works for you and like implement it. The hard thing for me is like I find all these new things and these new fads that are going around.
Yes.
And I don't stick to it long enough for it to actually make a difference or make an impact. And then I just fall out of it.
But I also think part of that is like we are bombarded constantly of like this 20-step morning routine we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And then it just ends up like stressing you out and overwhelming you more than it does like help you. And I think it's just it's the business of wellness. It's not wellness as just health and wellness. It's like they're trying to sell you a million apps and like books and gratitude journals and different things when really it's whatever you want. I think what is fun about that is like taste testing different habits. Like you can try on different things and see if it works for you and if it doesn't. Like I wanted to be a manifestation girly for so long, or not manifestation, meditation girly for so long, where I was like meditating in bed in the morning or like at night. And I just like, I could not do it. Like that just isn't me.
No.
And I love that for people, but it isn't me.
I wish.
Yes. I want to be that so bad. So what I've started doing is listening. There's this app called Insight Timer, but it's totally free. And they have different like meditations and stuff. And so in the morning, because I make all my roommates coffee in the morning, I'll listen to a meditation and like do a meditation while I'm doing something else. Yeah. And I find that really helps me a lot just because I'm so ADD that it allows me to like do something like this while I'm doing while I'm actually doing something meaningful. And it helps me like turn my brain into that thing.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah. So I would recommend that. If you want to get into, meditating or anything like that, like it's okay. I think like I wouldn't be hard on yourself for trying things and then them not working,
Well, and that's one thing that has always been like so important to me is like my morning time. But I feel like I really only let myself enjoy it when it's my day off. And I'm like, I need to start waking up that extra 30 minutes earlier so I don't sit there and scroll on my phone. Yeah. And like, go make my coffee and sit on the couch. Or like the past couple days I've been sitting on the front porch because it's been nice weather. And that is like genuinely the simple pleasures that bring me joy.
And that's all you need. You don't need to have all the other shit. Like whatever makes you happy.
Yes.
And like brings you kind of back to the present, I think, is the 100%. Most important. Are you a morning person, would you say?
Oh, I'm such a morning person.
What time do you wake up typically?
I feel like I normally wake up at 7. If I'm trying to work out in the morning, I'll wake up at like 6:45.
Are you a big worker outer girl?
I love doing at-home workouts.
Really?
Oh, I love it.
I love doing at-home workouts.
Going to the gym sometimes just stresses me out. I do. Once I'm there, I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
But getting there is like half the struggle for me.
Yes, I feel that. For sure. For sure. Are you a big, like, you said you snowboard, right?
Snowboard.
Are you a big snowboarder?
I love snowboarding. This past season, I did not get up, like, as much as I wanted to at all. But seeing all of your videos of doing the skinning up in, like, evenings and mornings. And because that's when I have free time.
Right.
Is, like, either before nobody is awake or once the mountain's already closed in the evening.
Right.
So, you have really pushed me and influenced me. I'm, like, looking all over Marketplace for, like, a split board setup and
you will find one. You will absolutely find one.
I need to do it.
I would love to do it together. Have you ever done it before?
No.
You would love it. I mean, if you love, like, moving your body and you're not really a gym person, which is literally me to a T.
Yeah.
It's such an amazing workout. Like, and it's so annoying. I wish I could skin in the summer too. I feel like I'm more, like, fit and in shape in the winter than in the summer when I'm, like, showing half of my body. You know? Like,
that's crazy.
Which is crazy because in the past it's like the opposite. I'm, like, hibernating like a bear, eating so much and just, like, depressed and in the winter. But, like, here, you're just so freaking active.
Yeah.
So it's totally different. But no, I've loved it, and I've loved it too for meeting people. I find that it's a really good way to make community because you're just, like, kind of yapping on the skin track.
Totally.
And you're both very out of breath. But I was going to interview this girl on the podcast, and she was like, maybe we could do it while we're skinning. I'm like, are you dumb? Like, are you kidding? Like, I could never.
I wouldn't be able to breathe.
I can never do that. I like call my friends on the phone when I'm skinning sometimes, and I'm like, I'm sure it is the most annoying conversation ever because I'm like, but it is really, really fun. So I would recommend trying that because it's a great way to move your body.
Yes.
And be outside.
No, it is, like, my goal for this
and
next
meet
year.
people. How have you found, living here, and you're still pretty new to town, so, like, making friends and stuff? How has that been?
I was really fortunate. The people that I moved in with were set up with me before I even moved out here. So it was kind of a thing that, like, they were going to be my roommates. So I was
That's amazing.
Pray to God I like these people. Because
yes.
if I don't, this is not going to be a good situation.
And it could definitely go either way.
It could. But the girl, Ariana, she's also one of my employees here. We are, like, best friends.
Wait, I love that.
I could have never asked for a better roommate. Like,
so y'all work together and you live together?
Yes.
How fun.
It is like a little family affair going on.
I love that.
But it's the best. And I was really fortunate with that situation. I know a lot of people don't have that situation. So I'm thankful for that.
So do you feel like you've gotten to meet people through them? Like, were they here before?
No, they weren't here before. We all moved up here at the same time.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
Did you find them through, like, random roommates, Facebook?
No, it's actually Kelly's son and his girlfriend.
Oh.
So when I say family affair, like, family
affair.
Yes.
And when you say it was already set up, that makes sense.
Yep, exactly. Cool. So that's how all that happened. Honestly, like, it sounds bad to say, but the bar scene is fun.
Oh, that's
it's not bad to say at all.
That's how you do it.
But, like, I don't know, going to happy hour with girls that I meet randomly.
Yes.
And going out at night and just having a blast with people. Alcohol does help.
It does very much help. You are right.
So that's how I met, like, a lot of people at first.
Do you feel like you've made a pretty good friend group? Like, do you feel good about your community here?
I feel like it's good.
Yeah.
Recently, I did meet a group of girls. They all moved up here to work the mountain over the winter. Okay. Which I feel like is a very common occurrence.
Sure.
Happens
be very transient.
So it's nice that I got to meet all of them. Some of them are staying through summer too. So that's fun. They're a super solid group of girls. Love them. Before that, there's been, like, some girlfriends that I've met. It's been, like, here and there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, everybody is so busy in this town.
And everyone works, like, a million odd jobs.
Exactly.
And travels and skis and has all their hobbies and stuff.
Yeah.
So everyone's just kind of scattered around.
Exactly.
No, I feel that.
So that's kind of how it's been sometimes. But, I mean, I'm even the same way. I don't have time to hang out with somebody every single night of the week.
Nor do you probably want to.
I love my alone time.
That's how I am, especially after a long day of work. Like, I would say that I'm the most introverted of my roommates. Like, none of them really require any alone time at all. Whereas I, like, at night, because we all eat dinner together. We all eat dinner together every night, and then afterwards, I'm like,
fun.
No, which is so fun. Oh my God, and I'm obsessed with my roommates. It is the most fun house ever. I am just famous for, like, right after dinner, we all have dessert because we're big sweets girls, and then we all make peppermint tea every night. And then I am, like, peacing out. Like, they like to, like, play board games, watch a movie. I'm fuck no. Like, I want to go read my book and be in bed and light a candle. And that is, like, and they always make fun of me. Or they're like, please, like, stay up here. I'm like, no, like, I'm done now.
Yes, I have to go out.
Yeah, like, I can't, even if I'm not podcasting, if I'm just, like, working from the house and, like, working to myself all day, I still get, like, very overstimulated. I'm on social media a lot. I'm talking to people all day, every day.
100%.
Like, I just want to do what I want to do.
Yes.
At the end of the day. And they're just always like, what are you doing? Or they'll just give me shit for like, oh, okay, she's leaving now.
Yeah. We all knew
it's time for Sarah to leave. Or they're like, what are you still doing up here? Because we eat dinner upstairs. I'm like,
that is too funny.
But I'm just like such a, I don't know. I feel like as you get older, you just figure out what you like and what you don't.
Yeah.
And I just don't really care to do things I don't like, you know?
Yep. And I feel like that is one big thing where I'm like, okay, maybe I actually have done a good job adulting. The fact that I enjoy spending time with myself.
Alone.
You know?
I think that's so imperative.
It is.
So imperative. And I have friends who just like avoid it like the plague. And I'm like, you know, you have to learn how to be happy on your own if you ever want to meet someone. Because I know, because they're like, I'm just lonely. Like, I want to meet someone. I'm like, totally valid. I've been there too where I felt super lonely, but you have to find a way to be happy when no one else is around.
You do.
Because you can't expect anyone else to provide that happiness for you.
Nope.
Like, at all.
Nope.
Speaking of, how's the dating been in Summit? I personally had to outsource a man. I had to mail order a man in from far away.
That is too funny. Because
I was too scared. But also when I moved here, I was like, you know what? I don't want to shit where I eat. I hooked up with other men in other ski towns, but I never hooked up with anyone in Summit because I was like scared when I was trying to make friends that I would like just hook up with someone's ex or something, and I'd like make
small
enemies
town stuff.
I'm like, I don't even want to deal with that. I'm just gonna outsource these men.
That's the way to do it. I will tell you that.
Yeah,
dating here is crazy. It is
sure.
a whole different world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and don't get me wrong when I say this, there's something about Colorado, and I love it. But people come out to this state to go on a very personal and individual journey. And
they're running away from something.
And they're running away from something. Yeah. They don't want to commit. They want to do what makes them happy. Mm-hmm. Which, kudos to them.
Totally.
But that's not what I'm looking for.
Right.
Been there, done that type thing. I've had the hookups. I've talked to the random guys, you know. It's just not as fulfilling for me anymore.
So do you feel like you are looking for a relationship? Is that like the phase of life that you're in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you want somebody to go for hikes with that you don't
want a buddy.
Have to question about whether they can go or not.
Right.
You know, it's just that person. I think I'm ready for that. I don't know.
Okay, well, I think that you shouldn't say that. I think that's another part of manifesting. I think if you want someone, you have to say it. You have to put it out there.
Right.
Like I am ready for it. And I think if you want to meet someone, going through the motions, like going on dates, putting yourself out there, getting on the apps, because if you want to meet someone, but then you just keep hanging out with the same people at the same bars and you're not like, quote unquote, putting yourself out there.
Yes.
It's the lack of the inspired action. Because you could like manifest and voodoo doll and, you know, write someone's name in your journal 20 times. But if you're not like actually doing anything about it.
It's so true.
Nothing's going to happen for you.
It is so
you have to like put it out there. Because I was always like scared to admit that I'm like, okay, no, I really do want a fucking boyfriend. But like, I don't want to sound desperate. And I'm like, it's not desperate. It's just because everyone does. Everyone wants someone. And if you don't, that's totally fine. I've been in phases where, like, I have just wanted the casual hookup. Yeah. But if you do want it, like, I don't think that's a bad thing to admit. And I hate that, like...
I don't think it is either.
I hate that we've put this stigma on just, like, wanting love.
Yeah.
Like, why?
And honestly, like, the hookups and all that, it's fun, but it just does not satisfy me.
After a while, I just learned that, like, sex is so much more fulfilling when... shocker... it's what something you care about. Yeah.
Whoa. No way. Who would have thought?
Yeah, you might want to pay me for this advice. I mean, you've probably never thought about it like that before. Because after college, I was just like, woo!
Yeah.
And, you know, and then for some reason during COVID, that was like the most sexually active I've ever been when, you know, the whole world was shut down.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't really know how I managed that. But besides the point, I learned that, like, I don't really get anything from this. Like, no shade to whatever phase of life you're in, but this just isn't really for me, and I'm just looking for something more.
Yeah. So. And I feel like that could also be like, I think more girls need to realize this, like we all have so much to give.
Yes.
So much love that we could be giving someone.
Right.
And we deserve that same love and affection back, and that's okay to accept that, I think.
I agree. And I think another thing that I've learned in my 30 years on this earth, and it sounds more cliche because now I am in a relationship and like I'm obsessed with a guy, but like I didn't quite believe this for myself before, but I wish I had, of like everything that I was hoping other guys to be and everything that I wanted that I was like falling short on or giving up on was like, whatever, like I get this quality from like my friendships or I get this quality from elsewhere. Like I don't necessarily need that in a partner.
Yeah.
Is such bullshit. Like I think you need to want what you fucking want. And like own it and stick to it. I mean, it's fine to like date and date casually if you're not looking for like the one. But I also think like, I don't know, it makes me laugh how perfect my boyfriend now is for me in ways and like the qualities that he has that I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to find anyone like this. And like so many of my friends have said the same thing. And then they meet the person. I also have friends. I mean, I'm from Alabama, so I've got people married, divorced already, you know, or people that probably should be getting a divorce because like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that guy. But
yes.
You know, settling, I think, is just so fucking stupid. Like, there's too many people in this world for you to settle for someone that's subpar and doesn't live up to, like, your potential.
100%.
Because, like, you're such an amazing person and have all these qualities.
Yeah.
And I think, too, with not to make this whole thing about, like, journaling, but, like, you know, manifesting your dream person, like, making a list of all of the qualities. Physical, even though I did put that my dream guy was 6'4". My boyfriend is unfortunately not 6'4", but it's okay. But, like, putting everything down on paper. Because I think that can be super powerful, too, because that's another thing. Like, you know, if you don't know your goals and you don't know what your dream life looks like, how can you expect the universe to give it to you if you don't even know what it is? Exactly. And same with a guy, like, or a girl. Like, if you don't know what you want, then how are you going to even know it when you meet that person?
Well, and it's like the whole manifestation. It's like the law of attraction too.
Yes.
You know, like
yes,
the vibes that you give off is what you're going to attract back.
Right.
So like when I found myself going out in the bar scene all the time and expecting that I was going to find the love of my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm drunk.
You're like, is my husband going to be here?
He's not going to be here right now. Why do I think that would ever work?
That's so funny.
But yeah, you need to attract what you want back.
Yes. And I think that comes with anything in life, which is also ironic because the hats that we're making are from our manifestation collection that we're launching in the next couple months. And that's why I wanted to make this collection was like, you know, I think everything holds so much power, your energy, who you surround yourself with, the words that you say, and the clothes that you wear. Mm-hmm. So like wearing your mantra, like what you're trying to attract into your life, I feel like is so powerful. And and also just doing it in like a fun, girly way.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
100%.
So it always all comes back to that. And I feel like over the years and coming into, you know, turning 30 in the last year, narrowing down like how I want to bring things into my life and living in a more spiritual, like intentional way. Mm-hmm. I've just really enjoyed that. Yeah. And like figuring out what I believe and
I agree.
Kind of implementing that into my life. Mm-hmm. But you're still in the first half of your 20s. I know. So your 20s are a fucking clusterfuck.
Yeah. I don't even know what to expect.
I know. I mean, I don't think anyone knows.
No.
And that's what when I look back on my 20s, it's because I did 4 years of college. And in college, same within high school, middle school, everyone's kind of like on the same track, mm-hmm. in the same lane. And then you graduate and you've got people getting married with kids. You've got people doing the Peace Corps. You've got people opening a boutique in Breck. You've got people working at a finance on Wall Street in New York. Like, it's hard because you so naturally compare yourself to people and you can often feel very lost. So, you know, in your 4 years, in your 20s thus far, you just turned 24. Mm-hmm. What do you think you've struggled with, you know, just personally, and like, what have you taken away from it?
I would say something I've struggled with, like you were saying, is like the comparison of other people around you. Mm-hmm. And am I doing enough? Am I doing the right thing? Am I wasting my time? Whatever. Like, I think a lot of times people put too much emphasis on if it's the right thing. Sometimes you just need to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, who cares if it's the right move to make? Or,
right.
Like, moving up here, I did not know a single person. I was going to work for people I'd never met in my life.
Did that scare you, or were you okay with it?
It scared me a lot. But I was also like, if I don't take this chance, mm-hmm. I'm going to be the same person I was 2 years ago.
Right. Right.
So it's really like wanting that personal growth for yourself, mm-hmm. and doing the things that are uncomfortable and doing the things that maybe don't make sense. Mm-hmm. But like something is calling you to do it and you just need to listen to that calling.
I like that.
Follow it. But yeah, the comparison in my earlier 20s was a big thing for me. Mm-hmm. And then, I dropped out of college. So all my friends who stuck through college and were having that fun life. And mm-hmm. I felt like I was missing out on all of that. But if I would have stuck through, I would have not been where I am today.
Right.
So it's like following that path and just like trusting the process. And that whole thing, it was a big learning curve. But I'm so happy that, you know, doing the unexpected helps with all of this.
And it all just kind of falls into place.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you feel like now currently? Is there anything that you're working on within yourself, or like things you're working towards or that you hope to accomplish or obtain in the next year? Like maybe qualities within yourself or like external things other than manifesting that dream man?
Yeah, other than that, I think honestly just becoming overly comfortable in my own skin.
Oh,
You know?
I like that.
You know, like it
Like just
doesn't
obsessed
matter.
with yourself.
Yeah, I want to like love what I do and love what I wear and not care about what people think and honestly just not put so much emphasis on it. Like you wake up in the morning, I wake up, I have this idea in my head. I'm like, oh, this is going to look so cute. I put it on. I'm like, I live in Breckenridge. I don't live in LA. Like this, I should not be wearing this.
Oh,
But
I like that.
Really, who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody actually cares that much about what you look like, honestly.
That is really funny.
Right? I'm like, I have all these like outfit ideas that go through my head and I'm like, oh,
I
that'd be
can't
so
wear
dang
that.
cute. Yeah, but I can't wear it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I live in a mountain town. I should be wearing like a hoodie and a hat. And
Totally.
that type of thing. Besides just like external though, one thing I've always told myself is I just want to travel more. Like I want to see more. The world is so big.
Mm-hmm.
And why would I limit myself to just like the couple places that I've lived? And already thus far this year, I have done more traveling than I probably have in my entire life.
I love that.
So that's something
that's exciting.
Just has been super fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the bucket, book the ticket.
Yes.
I don't really think twice about it. I have booked like 4 random tickets and just went.
Yeah.
And
because why not?
Why not?
Totally. I love
that's
that.
Something I'm proud of.
Okay.
And I kind of just want to continue that energy. I was like looking into flights, going to Spain over like our next shutdown. I'm like, I'll just go by myself. Why not?
Have you ever solo traveled before?
Not like that. No.
Well, if you need any tips, that is like my favorite thing in the world to do.
Oh.
I think it is such a good way to like grow.
Yes.
Within yourself, and you meet so many people and you come back way more open-minded of what I love, and that's something that I love about podcasting too, is like I love kind of getting my ego checked of like me being judgmental without realizing it, like going into a situation, already having a preconceived notion and someone just totally flipping it on its ass and being like, you idiot, like you thought you put me in a box, but you didn't. And like, obviously they don't know what kind of box I put them in, but
no,
still it's like just this like weird ingrained thing where I like still, I mean, everyone, you know, if you're not, that's incredible, is a little bit judgmental. And like, you can't help but judge a book by its cover sometimes based on your past experiences, whatever. I think traveling is really cool because it shows you that no matter what you're doing, like coming back to the comparison piece too, you'll meet people that are 50 years old and just got a divorce and realize that they're actually lesbian instead of straight and like quit their job, or you'll meet someone that like put all their stuff in a storage unit and is traveling until their money runs out, or like you just, it shifts your perspective and your values, kind of like spending time in nature.
100%.
Which I really appreciate because I think I get very caught up in my own routine. I love my routine because my work is so chaotic and my life is so chaotic and I travel all the time. And so I really hang on to that. And like, you know, in a couple weeks, I'm leaving for 2 months. And I did that 2 summers ago, right after I got through a breakup. And it like totally shifted everything for me. And I needed it because I needed to come back to myself and like kind of refine myself after the shitty relationship that I was in. Totally. And it really just like healed me and put a mirror in front of me when I was like meeting all these new people. Like, you can be anyone you want in this situation. Like, who do you want to be? And that is such a refreshing thing.
That is so
about
cool.
Traveling by yourself is you can just literally wake up every day and do whatever you want.
Yes.
So I would totally recommend it.
Oh, that's empowering. That's cool.
It is. It's a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to do it again, except now I can't hook up with sexy Australians because I have a boyfriend that I love. So this trip is going to be a little different for me, but I would highly recommend you meet an Australian, have sex with them.
Okay.
Sorry, your mom, if your mom's listening to this. That is the advice that I would
just tell mom to plug her ears.
Yeah, that I would
They'll
give.
Listen to this.
So what do you have coming up? What's next for you and Lace Lariat? I mean, you guys just opened that new location, which is exciting.
We did.
And how's that one been going?
It's been going so good. Pagosa is definitely like different clientele than up here. So that has been part of the learning curve. Like, we can't carry the same products because what sells up here does not sell down there.
Right.
Another big thing is sizing. Like, all of my smalls and mediums sell like this. They cannot get rid of their smalls and mediums.
Really?
It's like the sizing between each different town.
Yeah.
And like I said, like the clientele.
That's super interesting.
That was a big thing.
A lot of learning.
Yeah, just learning curves. But they're doing great. They're crushing it. It's really fun. Like my sister and my older sister runs the one down there.
Oh.
So that's cute.
It is literally a family affair.
Oh, it totally is.
We
a
love
family business. Like my mom's always popping in the shop to help her, which is cute. But I'm like, fuck you guys. Like,
yeah, you're like,
you leave
what
me here
about
all
me?
by myself.
Yeah.
Whatever.
How often do you get to see your family?
How often?
Yeah.
At least once a month.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. I drive down all the time.
It's not too far.
No, it's close.
And it's such a pretty drive. I've driven to Durango before.
Yeah, it's so pretty. I love it. I love it so much.
Well, that's so fun.
Yeah.
And where can everyone find you? Lace and Lariat. Plug yourself.
Yes.
Tell everyone all the things.
Yes. All the things. Yeah, it's just fun. I'm always here. It's like my second home.
Uh-huh.
So really, and that's kind of been my goal, is I just want to make it comfortable for everyone.
Yeah.
I hate walking into shops or places where you just don't feel seen or welcomed.
Okay.
So that's like my big mantra. I'm like, everyone is welcome here. This is a home, not just somewhere that's going to take your money, even though I'll take that too.
Yeah.
But a little different.
But not where you're getting just like followed around by someone and it's like so salesy. You just want it to feel like comfortable. Exactly. So that's been fun. And where can everyone find you guys on socials? You and the store.
Me, I am Natalie_Wood with 2 D's on Instagram. The store is Lace and Lariat, Lariat is how you spell Lariat. Yeah, follow us on Instagram. We're also on TikTok. I'm not very good at TikTok. We're working on that.
Still follow along.
Still follow along. But yeah, please follow us and show your support and your love.
Yes, and support local.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
This was so fucking fun.
So fun.
I've just been chopping away over here, and I've made a lot of progress. I'm like, I want to podcast while I do something every single time. I've never done this before. Yes. But thank you guys so much for listening, and if you're watching, I hope you've enjoyed our little show. Please follow us on Instagram as well at Raw Intentions Podcast. You can find me, my personal at Sarah R. Smith, and my business at Raw_Rebellious. I'm also not very good at TikTok, but I try, and we're on YouTube as well. We're pretty much literally anywhere, and if you love us as much as we love you, I would love if you could throw us a little like and subscribe and review and tell everyone you know so that we can keep growing and reaching new audiences. Yes. But thank you guys so much. Have a fabulous weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.